You are now checking out the Win Podcast, where the everyday people are the celebrities. So let's get to know them.
What's going on, my people? I'm DJ Moka, and you're checking out the Win Podcast.
This one I'm so excited because I met you on Instagram. First, it was the hat. The hat spoke to me. I was
Hat
like,
connection.
The hat connection. Who is this guy? He's DJ. And I was like, yo, we're from something right now. We're connected on a level right now with that hat. So it was Instagram, and I started noticing that you was practicing a lot. You was doing your mixes. And I was like, man, I would love to get to know this guy and what is the craft behind being a DJ and also personal of what it took to get you there. So that's our connection. First is another social media person that I met. Social media is great. It's not only for creeping, but it's also a great tool to meet people.
Absolutely.
It could get annoying, but it's a great tool to meet people. So, Will, it's about you, man. So, DJ Moka. I want to make sure I get that name out there. So when people want to book you,
That's it.
I want to know, who are you?
Well, where do you want to start, man?
And take us. They could be
well.
Take from the beginning. From the beginning.
My both parents are Dominican, so I'm Dominican. I was born and raised in Harlem. Grew up on 125th Street. My passion for DJ started around the age of 14. I'm passionate about music. I love making people happy. It's funny because I use this DJing a little bit past just making people dance. Like it's psychological.
Right.
It's like there's a whole, I don't know how to explain it. It's like there's a whole theory behind it. It's not just like playing music. A good DJ reads the crowd, knows what the crowd needs to hear. It's not only what they want to hear, it's what they need to hear. So
you said you started at 14
years old.
Now, prior to that, you have your parents that were playing all types of music in the house and stuff like that.
Yes,
so what was like?
Yes, of course.
What was like what was the music you was hearing? What was the inspiration?
So we had merengue, bachata. My older sister, Menudo. Menudo was on deck.
Yeah, the Menudo mixing.
Menudo on deck. Doing the whole dances and everything in the living room. So we had that, a lot of merengue, bachata. Always parties in my house, always, every weekend,
you
every
had
other
Dominican
set.
house parties?
Yes, Dominican house parties, yeah. My mother used to make cake, so it was like Dominican cake, rice, beans, party, let's go.
She still do them?
Nah, my mother passed away a few years ago.
Sorry to hear that, but she's still partying though.
She's still partying, absolutely.
So when it's time for us to go back up there, I better get a ticket.
You better get some cake too.
It's okay.
Absolutely, man.
So you said at 14, that's when I guess the bug hit to be
yes.
DJ. How did that came about? Did you see someone DJ?
Yes. So my cousin, he was actually a DJ. He was way older than me, a couple years older than me. And we used to always go to his house. And he had the turntable set up, everything. And I was like, wow, man, that's dope. So hearing him perform, I have an older brother, and him and my cousin used to always go out. So I was a little man, so he used to be like, yo, Will, let's go out. So 13, 14, they would take me out of college parties.
Whoa.
Yeah, college parties and stuff. So I got inspired. I was like, I got to do this. So I had a little summer youth job on my first turntable set. Nice. Started buying records. Little by little, just started doing parties.
What was the first couple, I guess, records you was buying and stuff like that?
Well, I used to shop. I used to buy my records in Rock and Soul back in the day. So what Rock and Soul used to do is they would have a single, but it would be 6 singles in one record. So there's 3 on one side, 3 on another side. It was $5. So had a little part-time job in the pharmacy, So I used to make a couple dollars, go pack bags, buy a couple records. So
you was already once you got the taste. So
that's it.
What was the process behind that? So now you got the set, and then now practice. Who was teaching you? What was the feel of what did you get when you finally had your set?
Oh no, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Okay.
I was like, okay, cool. Now I gotta start learning how to mix. So in my building growing up, I had my cousin named Elvin, and he was DJing too. He was up also 14. We were the same age.
Yeah.
So we was sharing records, come over, he'll come over, we'll start DJing. It was just a matter of feeling the music out, because back then there was no laptop. So everything was feeling and listen to the tempo.
Well, old school people attest to this, is that was real DJing. What you was doing.
Absolutely.
You wasn't just pressing buttons.
Absolutely. And you was carrying crates of records.
Yeah.
You had to go through the search. Oh, where's this record at? So it was just a matter of learning and learning how to mix by ear, making sure both tempos are on point, you know, the blends are on point, the mixes. Because I really didn't get into scratching until later on, you know, in the career.
Okay.
So it was just more about party rocking. So, you know.
What do you mean by like, because I kind of get it, but I want to dive more into
Absolutely.
mixing your ear, like turning that mix in your ear.
Yes.
Because I usually see people with the headphones,
Yes.
right? But I know there's a separate thing of like, you already like getting familiar with that
Yes,
music,
yes.
that you already kind of like foresee it 3
Yes,
minutes in, like
yes.
this is where I'm going to go.
Absolutely.
So,
and you knowing music, you know BPMs. So,
Right.
You know, if a song is on 93 BPM, you can't play a song that's 143. I mean, you could do it. There's a way that, you know, depending on the situation, but normally you got to kind of match that BPM. It's got to be in that same tempo, that same beat count.
Gotcha.
So, you know, back then you couldn't look at a computer, so everything was by ear. So you used to have to hear that bass line. You know, catch it on the one, which is, you know, the bass line, and, you know, just catching the song and
Gotcha.
blending it by there. So back then it was harder. It was definitely harder.
there was more of a, I guess, not only that you had to do your homework, but appreciation for it. Because you could I feel like back in the days you could easily give up.
Yeah, and a lot of people did. A lot of people did.
Because now it's like, oh, my escape button working. Oh, the A button on here is not working. I'm like, you know what? Whatever.
I'm done.
I'm done. Now that's like the easy route of like just giving up.
Absolutely.
But back in the days, it's like,
There was,
what am I gonna do with all these records? I just
Yeah,
spent I just
It's
invest
funny,
in
and
here.
that's what it was. That's what it was. I remember I had like 12 crates of records. Like 12 crates of records. But back then, either your heart was in it or it wasn't, because everybody wanted to be a DJ. Like
Right.
even now, to this day, right? Everybody wants to be a DJ. It's a cool thing to do. But if your heart is not in it, it's going to be a phase.
So what makes it different for you, where you're not one of those people that I just didn't want to be a DJ because I wanted to be a DJ. Maybe that was the first inspiration.
Of course,
Yo, my
of course,
cousins,
of
that's
course,
dope,
of
right?
course.
But I feel like I get the sense for you, and not only that I see it is that there's a passion that you have
absolutely.
when you play. So what is the difference for you of like, I'm not those people that just want to be a DJ.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
I literally
Of course.
am a DJ.
Yeah.
I wanted to be, and
Yeah.
I am a DJ.
Exactly.
So where was that? Where did that start for you? It was like, I guess when shit got real,
Yeah.
in a sense, like
My first gig, you know, first gig where, and it's funny because
paint the scene. I want to be there.
Only
What was
another
like-
DJ can explain this, like really like understand this. When you're in that crowd and you're looking out and you see that you have full control of that crowd with the music you're playing, and that they're enjoying what you're doing, and all that happiness and all that fun is coming from something that you thought about in your house or you're feeling out through your music. That's a feeling that you can't, you know. I'm pretty sure you can understand
Of course,
when you
of
have your
course.
guitar. It's like it's a feeling you can't explain. You gotta live it. You know.
I always say like, you know, I interviewed other people and my wife, and there's a high of when you get off that stage, and I feel like it's similar with different art forms as well. That when you're in there, probably in the behind the scenes, you may have the nerves
Of course.
or whatever, which is normal. Which I always call is free energy. It's excitement. Don't look at it as nervousness. Look at the positive. This is free energy that you're getting. And if you don't have that, then I feel you're in a danger zone. Because then you got into a spot where you're comfortable.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I always want that energy being formed, because now I'm going to use it to go out there. So then when you're out there, you perform, you're on a fucking high, then it's done, and it's like you're on top of the world. You're on cloud nine. So is that something similar how you feel when
Absolutely.
you get off
Absolutely.
the sets and you break it
Absolutely.
down?
Absolutely. And it's funny because, like you said, I'm always nervous before I go on. And it's funny, I have so many sets, you know, and I have so much music. I have 80,000 songs on my laptop right now. And every event, it's always unique it's never the same as the other one.
Oh, so you never have?
No.
Because I always hear, right, this guy's just gonna play a mix.
No.
Right? So you
Never.
you don't stick to the script, you
Never.
change the script.
Absolutely.
So everything is unique to you.
Absolutely, because you don't know who's going to be in the crowd. So, you know.
And I think also for you, like, that keeps it entertaining for you,
Absolutely.
right? You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
different for you. You
Absolutely.
don't. If you feel, if
Absolutely.
you reach I'm assuming if you reach a point where like, I'm just gonna tell like the same fucking lineup, it's boring, and now it becomes a job.
Yep, and also you can tell that DJs work. When DJs do, you know, get into that zone, you can tell their performance and the work that they put out. When a DJ is comfortable, because none of that, you got to remember the crowd is also feeding off your energy also. So if you're there and you're feeling your music and you're feeling your set, and people are like, wow, I'm feeling good right now. You know, like, you know, it's funny. It's an energy that we get an energy from the crowd, and the crowd gets the energy from us.
Right.
You know, it's like give and take. From both of us. You know, so.
Do you I guess do you pre-plan like your shows as in like this crowd is probably gonna be like this, so maybe I'll
No, because it never plans out that way. You know, I've done events where they're like, well, it's gonna be Puerto Rican, Dominican crowd. I go there, it's all Jamaican. Gotcha. So here I'm playing reggae. You know, I prepared to do this. Yeah. But it's a whole different crowd. I'm playing soca, Afro beats.
Gotcha. You know, and everything is like categorized for you. Like
absolutely.
You got your you have your
yes.
Desperado suitcases, like you press the button and everything.
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
So you kind of put genres together in certain sets. This way, you know what you're gonna you know where to go if you're looking for a certain song.
So now you listen to all this music, and you have to study all the time. You have to love it. You have to appreciate it. You got to work the craft. So at the same time, it may get stressful, it may get tiring. So I want to know what inspires your creativity. Because what I noticed is that on your Instagram, when you go live, like I said, you are working out your stuff, but sometimes you will say like, I just want to do something with this song, right? So I want to know what inspires your creativity. What is it that it could be a song maybe that you hear, or maybe it could be not. Maybe you wake up in the morning and it's like, I don't know.
It's funny, I do a lot of routines on Instagram where I'll take genres that you'll never hear together, like, twist and shout. You put it with hip hop or trap or merengue with this. And it's funny, it's things that come into my head, and I'm like, I want to see what this sounds like. And I love that feeling of playing something out for a crowd that they're like, I never thought that. I never expected to hear this. And that's like the best, for me, that's the best satisfaction. It's like, or when I post something and people comment like, wow, I never would have thought to hear that song with these kind of beats. So, and it's funny, as I'm driving or if I'm walking, I hear things like, oh, wow, if I play this song, I hear this song, or I hear these lyrics in the song, I can do, X, Y, Z.
I love this because it's like I love meeting people like that, because sometimes in the beginning I used to question like, I don't know if I'm crazy. It's like, what's going on? Like, I'm getting messages for my show, I'm getting messages for music, and I'm like, a Friday night for me would be me on iTunes searching like world music that's so different, and at the end of the day I spend like $60 because I'll go from like, oh my god, I heard this like Afro Cuban rock music, and then I heard this Afro soul song and this country song, and I'm there just going, and then I'm like, that inspires my creation. Because then I'm like, if this person like this, then who inspired this person? Who inspired that person?
I'm the same way.
But I hear the sound. So when I'm creating music, I'm hearing things already ahead of me that I'm like, man, that would be dope. Now, if I can't do it, I'll have to like someone that's like, this is what I'm hearing.
Let me know what you think.
Yeah, let me know what you think. Can you figure this out?
Well, let me hear your transition of this.
Right.
It's funny. I'm the same way. Like on my downtime, I hear music that if people hear what I'm listening, they're like, what the hell are you thinking about? I mean, like Motown music and like funk, Etta James. I mean, I'm hearing like James Brown. And it's funny, it's through these songs, I'm like, wow, but this person did the same remix, took this sample here, and I love doing that.
I love that too. Growing up, because I'm a big fan of hip hop, that was like a big thing for me, where I was like, oh, they sampled this, sampled that. And then like, what I noticed too, like, we sound like old farts now. These young bucks don't know, like, right? But it's so true that the music that we're hearing now, or even all this stuff, or like in the 90s or whatever, it was all, and it will continue to be spun off the stuff that happened before that. Always. And they'll twist and turn and do it. But I feel like if you want to become great, you gotta study the greats, right? And then you gotta want to become great with yourself, to work on your craft and get to know who and what you are.
Absolutely.
But they laid this foundation from the past that you can learn so much from. But a lot of people don't want to go back. They're like, oh, that's corny.
That's old.
It's old.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's had the most soul and message.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, I just never, and that's why I embraced my old soul. I embraced it. I know I come from a different lifetime. And I'm living in this lifetime, but I'm still brought a lot of stuff from another lifetime. Yeah. So I'm glad that you shared.
And it's funny because I feel like especially with the music now, it's definitely inspired by the classics. You listen to anything, Bruno Mars, the funk sound. That's all classic sound.
When I went to go see
that's
Bruno Mars,
for people now, but that's fun.
Bruno Mars is amazing, right? But behind that, why do I love him so much to watch him live? Is because I'm seeing him and his band fucking sweating every minute, doing the dance, hitting the cues, singing the notes. That shit came from the past when they did it for like 2 cents.
Exactly.
So that's why I can go see someone like Bruno Mars and be like, yo, I want to go see him because he is working for that money.
Exactly.
And they practice that shit like
course,
1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm Doc.
Time it.
Yeah, time it. Then I want glitter. Like you just said, like even glitter is fire.
Absolutely.
So I'm like,
absolutely.
Like I was supposed to go see him again. I told my wife, like we wasn't together at that time. So I was like, when I first saw him, I was blown away. The second time around, I had 1 ticket to go, and then I was like, listen, you need to go see him. And she was like, why? You want to go? I was like, I saw him. You just need to go see him. Like, trust me, because she loves back.
We'll make a date.
We'll make a date. We'll both see him again. We'll watch him on YouTube together.
Netflix.
Yeah, we'll make it a Netflix.
Exactly.
So I want to know. The challenges that you faced as a DJ in your career. Like in my career, anything that you're doing, there's the insecurities, there's the fears, there's the can I do this? I don't know, the doubts, or on top of that, you have people that's kind of like people or certain doors are being closed in your way. So I want to know what are some challenges that you had to face coming up and being in
Definitely. So backtracking a little bit, after when I started DJing at 14, I kind of stopped like at 18.
Oh,
because I had a kid.
This is where.
That's
right.
Where.
This is where it stopped. I want to know.
It's the big, the big stop. And
so at 18, you had a kid and you stopped.
Yeah, okay. It was 17. 17, I had a kid. In my career at that point, it was like taking off. Like I was doing block parties for La Mega. Oh, wow. Clubs were hiring me at 16, 15, hiring me to DJ because I was doing it. I was really doing it. I was really fully committed to it. And I stopped. I stopped DJing for like 10 years.
You stopped for 10 years?
Stop. I never thought I was going to DJ again. Never. Back in my, I was like, okay, I'm done. I said, I got a kid. Got to do the family thing now, So me and my girlfriend then, my wife now, we moved out. 17, we moved out. Had to get a job. Do the,
the whole hustle.
I had to do what I had to do. I was responsible. So I said, I got to do what I got to do. So never in my mind, I said, I'm going to go back to it. One day I had a laptop, had virtual DJ. Somebody put it on there for me. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Started playing around with it. Started playing around a little bit more. Oh, you know what? Let me start doing parties. They're like, dude, you DJ? I'm like, I used to DJ back in the days, never. And then it's just like, boom, boom.
Picked up again.
And it's funny because when I got back into it and I started doing parties, it was like I never left.
It was always
and
there.
I said, you know what? This is where my heart is. This is what I need to do. I'm not gonna let this pass me again. So
you stopped.
Yeah.
What was the feeling of leaving something that you love?
Horrible.
How did you like I'll take my occasional breaks, right? But 10 years. This is something that you love. Like the voices are probably like, yo, that James Brown. And
those were gone.
It was gone. You just turned that
on.
They
were in the closet. It was gone. Wow. And it's funny because, sometimes I look back and, I always count my blessings for everything. And I look back and I'm like, damn, dude, to think that I wasn't gonna do this.
Wow.
It's crazy. So it's funny, in the beginning it was hard, and then of course I had to sell the records I had. I sold all the records. We had 12 crates of records. We had subwoofers, we had this, because me and my cousin, we built all these equipment. We built everything up. So we sold everything. We sold everything.
Now, when you got back into it, did you, you said it was like you never left, but was there
It was hardship. Because now you got to build up that name. Who the hell is this guy? I don't know. I've seen this guy in 10 years. Who's this guy?
Wow.
So, it's like every career or anything you get into, you got to prove yourself, right? Let me see what this guy can do. Here's a window of 2 hours. Let me see what you can do with this crowd. And you got to prove yourself constantly, Is this guy hype? or is this guy really good? And I deal with that still to this day, you know.
Gotcha. So they kind of like in that world, they categorize you already. Like, are you this? Are you that? How do you break them? Like, I'm me. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the beginning, you probably was following a trend in the beginning because everyone does, because they're they're learning about themselves. It's like, I did this, I did that, but it's really not me. I can do it, but it's really not me.
Exactly.
So, when did that happen? I was like, I'm Will, I'm DJ Moka, man. Like, I'm comfortable with what I can bring.
I think I was myself from day one, because even my style of DJing, it's not a traditional style of DJing. You know, like where now the whole concept of open format, is something that he can play everything, salsa, merengue, bachata, and DJs did that back in the days, but it's not a common thing. And I like to incorporate things that are not commonly played at parties, especially depending on the age group.
Right.
Age group of 18 or 22. I don't listen to no damn James Brown, but if you do it in a way where they're like, wow, I've never
heard it that way.
I've never heard it that way.
And then like they want to Shazam, but who's that?
Exactly. And I think that's what allowed me, not only my name, but me as a DJ to grow, because I have a style that I'm staying true to, because that's my style. It's not pretending, or it's not, it's not a gimmick, or, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's not a Instagram post.
Gotcha.
This is who I am.
How did you deal with the fears and insecurities of that, and also dealing with this hiatus of being gone? Like, I want to know, like, how did you overcome these hurdles that, and no matter what art form, that will always remain, the fears, the doubts, the insecurities.
Absolutely.
How did you maintain to either to overcome them or still working on them?
Yeah. I think it's just building your confidence with your craft. So you have to know your craft.
Okay.
In order to feel comfortable with anything, right? Yep. You got to know your craft. You got to really feel comfortable when you're behind there. I'm in full control. I'm not going to let the people control. I'm going to control what's going out there. You know what I'm saying? So I try to dedicate myself. I tell my DJ friends too, 2 or 3 hours a day. I got a full-time job. I got a family. I got a kid. I got a wife. But I always dedicate that time to my craft.
So even still, this is beautiful. Even still, that your career is taking off as a DJ. A lot of people don't know, unless you are in the field, that you got the 9 to 5, and then you have your passion.
That's right.
And the same way you put 8 hours into your 9 to 5 that supports things, you better put another 8 hours into that too.
Absolutely.
So how do you manage to juggle, I guess, fatherhood, the job,
passion,
and
passion? When you have passion, like you have your wife, you have your kids, you're passionate about that, you're gonna find time. People want to go to the gym, they find time. People they find time for it. Whatever passion. And I just try to make sure I dedicate time to all of it. Going on hikes with my wife and my kids, and family time, and going home and making sure, even if I can't play the speakers, I put my headphones on, practice 2 or 3 hours. Oh, I heard something in my head today. Let me see how this will play out if I do X, Y. You got to do it. It's like when it's your passion, it's something you're really proud of, your craft, you take time to, practice your craft.
I noticed on your page one time that you shared that you don't drink at your gigs.
I don't drink at all.
And to me, that was something in this generation, for me, that's new.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not. Like, I tell people, I'll have a drink after the show or whatever, but I don't drink before and I don't drink during. And if I'm working with people, don't come high, don't come intoxicated, you do whatever you want afterwards, right? But that's just me. To hear another person like that, who's musically gifted, talented, why did you chose that I'm not drinking? Like,
it's never interested me. Not smoking weed, nothing. And I grew up in Harlem in the project, so there was a lot of weed smoking, and there was a lot of drinking. But it was something that never caught me. If you know me, like people that know me personally, they know my energy. Dude, people think I'm drunk or high when I'm not high and drunk. Like they're like, "Yo, Will, you telling me all the parties we've been to, you jumping around and you were sober?" Yeah, I was sober.
Yeah, because they don't understand that you can reach that way naturally.
That's right. That's
and
right.
it's like, what? Like,
and that's the funniest thing. The funniest thing is when people are like, "Moka, here's a drink." I'm like, "No, I'm good, thanks." But have it. "No, I'm good. I don't drink." Hold on. You around all this liquor and all this party and all this smoking, and you don't drink anything? Nah, this interests me. I might have some wine,
Right.
some sangria.
Yeah.
I call it the pussy drinks.
Yeah. I love my bitch drinks. Yeah, I can't take those. I can't take those hard shots. I got bitch insides.
Yeah.
So
Give me the bitch drink.
Yeah, give me and I want my umbrella.
That's
I put the umbrella.
That's
in there.
right. Yeah, exactly. So that being said, now it just never interests me. You know, I have a natural high.
Nice.
You know, like I say, you know. So and like you said, I always like to have a clear head too. When I DJ, clear head. I want to make sure I know what I'm doing and I'm in full control. But drinking never caught my eye.
What is as you look back, right? And even today, you probably practice today. When you look back on, you know, the beginning, you know, from when you first got the set with your cousins and getting that set, and then also taking that, having the fame and the celebrityism around there rising, and you leaving, then you're coming back, and it never left. When you look back on all of that, what were some lessons that DJs, that the DJing that you was doing was teaching you in life, like these life lessons? And you can take a minute to look back. When you just look back, and like, man, what is something that always came up in these lessons for me that I can always look back?
I think follow your heart. You know, follow your heart and do things from passion. You know, like some people are like, oh, the money, I'm doing it for. When you're doing something for money, if you can't love money and want money, you know, you only get money because you're doing something that you're passionate about, and because of that passion and you're so engaged in that, you're gonna get paid because you're really doing your job at full capacity. You know, so my thing is like I follow my heart. You know, and sometimes I've gotten the biggest events from doing an event there's 5 people there in a spot. 5.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why are you going so hard? Because I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because there's people here. I'm gonna give you my best work. And I've got like executives come up to me like, oh, you got a card? What's going on? And it's funny story. And this is actually fast forward to now. I was doing a venue and I was DJing. There was not many people in the place, but I was going in. I always go in. That's my thing. I'm not going in, but I'm gonna give you a good show. This gentleman comes up to a friend of mine. He's like, this guy has IG? So he's like, oh yeah, sure. He's like, do me a favor, relay a message. Tell him I'm getting married in Cabos. I want this guy to DJ my wedding. And this is like a year and a half ago. Wow. So I'm like, 2018, it was like 2017, like August or something, or July. Anyway, long story short, next month, they bought my ticket, flight, everything. And this is from just going in at a venue that I could have probably just let the song play for 3 minutes. You know, you got to always impress. Go in to impress all the time. That's my goal.
I think a big part of this, right? You know, hearing the story and watching you, you know, that you really enjoy doing what you're doing. You know, people can know when you're half-assing it, but most importantly, you can know when you're half-assing it.
Exactly.
And you're a type of person that is about quality.
Absolutely.
You know, and the work speaks for itself, right? So let's say you do a gig where you feel like you wasn't your best, but what you did was already an 8 to other people or 9s to what people was hearing. But you're like, oh really? All right, I feel like I brought it, but if I could have really brought it. And I think it's just, you know, that you really love what you do when it comes down to it.
Absolutely.
And I feel that this is your home and this is your world. That the music and DJing is really deeper than music to you. It's therapeutic.
Absolutely. It is.
You know, and always be there for you. Even when you went to your trials and tribulations and it was a 10-year gap, even though you wasn't, you know, DJing, but I guarantee you still listen to music.
Absolutely. It was still inside me. Like,
it would never go away. It was still inside you. Still be like, okay, I'm still gonna be, when you're ready,
it's true.
I'm gonna be right here for you.
You're right. Absolutely.
And that's where it picked up. And I think that's something that I learned from from you, and it's always constant reminders, is work ethic.
Work ethic is everything.
People, you could be talented as fuck,
but
if you don't have work ethic,
absolutely,
you're not gonna go nowhere.
Absolutely.
Because then you're gonna be easy to point everybody else. Well, this person did this person did that. What about me?
Yep.
Your work ethic, your craft that you put it in. You're not.
How much work you putting into that? It's funny because Will Smith said something. He said he was in an interview and he's like, I will not be outworked by anybody. You could be more talented than me. You could be better looking than me. You can be the best actor in the world. But if we get on a treadmill, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna beat you. And it goes back to that work ethic. Dude. Work ethic is everything. I feel like if you're gonna do something, I've always been like that. My wife will tell you. My wife's like, this guy has had so many hobbies, but it's funny because everything I do it to the fullest. There's never been a time where I half-ass anything, or I quit that. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I want to learn the guitar.
Yeah.
I learned how to play guitar in my 30s. When I was started 30, I taught myself, learned how to read notes, play notes, got a band. I said I want to play in a band. I was lead guitar in a bachata band. Dude, I did it. 2 years, I'm done.
Yeah.
I just wanted to prove to myself I could do it.
Yeah, and you can. It was already in you.
Absolutely.
It was just
That's it.
putting the pieces to the puzzle.
Absolutely, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And was it when you was doing that and doing the guitar? That was around the hiatus too,
No, I was not DJing.
That was around the time when you was not DJing.
Yeah.
But motherfucker, you see, music was still right there.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it's crazy.
I just wait, you wasn't using your hand, but. They was like, all right, you can leave, but they was like, here's a guitar. You know what I'm saying?
You got some rhythm, brother. What's going on?
Yeah, so wow, you still, that's crazy.
Yeah. And it was during that, like you said, like hiatus.
And I bet it was probably therapeutic around that time.
It was, man. It was like, when your heart's in something, dude, and I feel like no matter what path you take, your destiny's always going to find you again. If you're destined to do something, I feel like it always comes back to you. You're always going to find your path again. And I feel like that's what happened with me. So I'm definitely.
I want to ask you something real quick. When you look back, right, when you took that hiatus, right, and if let's say you're looking at that person right now, what would you tell him? Like that moment is like, there's gonna be a rough 10 years for me, or challenging 10 years for me.
Yeah.
What would you tell?
What would I tell myself?
What would you tell Baby Will, Baby DJ Moka?
Wow, it's crazy. It's just, I'm thinking about that one.
Nah, it's good, man.
I think I would tell myself, hang in there. Things are gonna happen when they need to happen. Because I feel like you can't, when things are meant to happen, they're gonna happen for you. Maybe 10 years ago, or maybe right after, maybe I wasn't gonna go nowhere. Maybe I would have done it, been a young dude, spending money, maybe started drinking heavily, got into some other stuff, and who knows what would have happened then. So I feel like I would tell myself, just hang in there. Good things are gonna come for you soon. Nice.
Does your kids inspire your creativity and music? Or they're just like, all right, like, you guys don't know about music yet. But like,
not really. I mean, you was gonna say something else?
No, I was gonna say like after that, because I'm like, then I was thinking, like, you know what? There's probably some great moments where you're like, yo, come in here and listen to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
check out some of this old music, stuff like that.
It's funny, I feel like my kids now, like, they'll hear me play certain things, or my kids' friends, and they're like, wow, your dad is actually really good. Or I'll
he's not pressing no keyboard buttons?
Whoa! Wow, this guy's really good.
Oh my God.
I'll do a routine.
He has a big CD and he puts it on. What?
And he's actually controlling it through that.
Yeah.
Or if I'm doing a routine, I used to tell my daughter, you come in the room, listen to this, tell me what you think. And she'll hear and she'll be like, wow.
She's like, I don't know that you need to really work on your mixing.
Your mixing sucks, man.
You gotta really train that ear.
My friend has a controller. He doesn't do
I can fix that. Now give me the keyboard. I'm gonna press V. And it just syncs it all together in one shot, Dad.
Exactly. I'm gonna put it. What's that? I'm gonna put it. I'm not putting the studio, the application that allows you to.
To sync everything.
Yeah, sync everything up.
Of course, you probably sometimes maybe DJ with that. I don't know, but what do you DJ with? So.
What do you mean with software? I DJ with software.
I guess what I'm trying to say, like, I know you probably just need a laptop to DJ now, right?
Yes.
But do you still DJ with the records and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I DJ with Serato.
Okay.
And I use turntables. So I have MK2's Techniques from 1979.
I heard of the name. I don't even know, but I always hear those things whenever.
Those were those are the turntables you wanted back then. Now there's some other brands, the Pioneer has someone, but those are always the classics. People see Technique, they're like, it's like the hat.
The hat.
Oh, you got Techniques.
Okay, gotcha.
You're good.
I'm synced in now.
Hey, he's good, guys.
He's good. Bring him in.
He passed the test. So I use that, and then I use a mixer that has a built-in audio card, and it allows me to connect my laptop and all my music on my computer. It transmits because the records have the time code. So when you put the needle reads the record, and the record goes to the mixer, which goes to my laptop. I can pick the song. Yeah.
I would definitely, if I were, I would call you to
let me know.
To all that, to do that technical stuff. But right now, I'm like, yo, man, the USB ain't working. Like I don't know what to do. Yeah.
You got a mix? You can send me a mix.
So how's DJing the career right now going for you? Because I remember right before this, you were saying, you know what, man, it's going places that I'm like, wow. Going well, man. So I want to get into that.
Definitely, it's going well. I count my blessings every day.
Is that something you kind of like saw happening, or like it came out like, whoa, this is?
I saw it happen little by little, and I wasn't in a rush. I got. Not that I have nothing but time, but I'm patient. Good things come to those who are patient, right? And also, things happen when they need to happen. You can't rush things. So
I think music, being a music person, music probably taught you that patience, right or wrong? Because I'm pretty sure you was there for hours trying to get that right, mixing that right. I don't know the technical terms, but there's hours like it's not there yet. It's not there yet.
Absolutely, same thing. And. I'm at that point now where I'm like, wow, I'm getting noticed, and I'm getting phone calls from people that I'm like, really? You want me to come and play for you?
Nice.
Or you want me to open up for you? Okay, amazing. So, and I think that only came from, because I think the universe sees the work you're putting out. So, law of attraction, right?
Yeah.
If you put in your work out to the universe, you're showing the universe this is what you want, and you're really passionate and you're really truly doing this, I think it comes back to you. So
and you worked hard for it. You earned it.
Absolutely.
You really, that's something that I want you to take away from this. And I think a lot of people like myself, we look sometimes at the present, right?
Yeah.
We never take the chance to really look at what we have done and let that journey from the past speak to us. We usually just do it, go to the next thing. We appreciate it and we're grateful, but we keep going. We need sometimes just look back like, man, I'm getting all these blessings, but you fucking earned it.
Yeah,
absolutely. You gotta really appreciate that journey. Let that film keep playing for you. Like, holy shit, you know what? Damn right. Like
it's funny because sometimes it's hard to think like that because I always try to keep myself level-headed.
Right.
Always humble.
Right.
So
of course.
So when people are like, yo, Will, and I'm like, shut the hell up, man. Chill. Like, I don't like that attention, a lot of people tell me, yo, Will, you deserve it because you've earned it. I understand that,
right.
But I really don't
There's no need to flaunt it.
They don't need to flaunt it. Yeah, I hate flaunting things, but definitely, it only came from my hard work, and the work I've been putting out there for sure.
So now we got to know you. You shared so much, and I thank you for doing that. And now we're gonna go to like these different segments of the show that I have. And the first segment is called Peekaboo, right?
Talk to me. Let's go.
The first question from Peekaboo is, what do you hide from the world?
My family. My family, and not because like embarrassed-wise. Yeah, I like to keep that side of my life personal, and then my wife, she really doesn't like, to be in social media and stuff like that. So I keep that hidden for that reason, to respect them and their privacy.
Right.
So
you're a private person.
Exactly.
I assume too. It's like nobody needs to know everything.
Exactly. Now, you always see my ring, so you know I'm married.
Yeah.
You come up to me, I'm married. Gotcha. I have a wife. But like social media wise, you would never know it if you see it from social media wise. Like you might see stories, my family hiking and stuff like that. But I just keep that. I keep that.
And I think that's so important because I learned that even more like this year. Like no one needs to know everything.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And what I enjoy, I think artists like us, we out there so much that we don't need to share everything out there, what I'm saying, for everybody to see.
Exactly.
That you almost feel like, people have binoculars and looking at you, where you say, what happened to the respect and what happened to the appreciation of privacy.
Absolutely.
Not knowing
Agree, yeah.
things about me. You know what I'm saying? That I don't need to share. There's no need to share all that.
I know I'm happy. I don't need to prove that to you.
Right, exactly. I don't need to show you that I'm happy.
I'm happy. Trust me.
I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the next segment is not the next segment. The next question of that segment is, what do you show the world?
What I'm passionate about. You know, what my interests are. I definitely do things. You know, I do things to inspire people, and that's always my motive. And you know, people that know me and call me to ask me questions, I'm always inspiring. Bro, make sure you get there, do what you gotta do. You practice, yo, did you reach out to this person? Did you email this person? You trying to get that gig? What you doing there? What's your force? You know, so
you pass it on to others who are hungry just like you.
Always. So, you know, what I show the world is my passion, and show others that, you know, if you're passionate about something enough, you really can do it, no matter what your background is, you know?
Love that. Thank you for that. The next segment is called If You Would Die Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Wow.
What would you want to accomplish? Don't worry about, I can't accomplish this because not enough time. It's going to happen. So if you would die tomorrow at 3 p.m., what would you want to accomplish?
Now, I'm going to tell you, it's crazy because, you know, although I'm young, I just felt like I lived a long life. I'll be happy right now, dude. Seriously. You know, I'm happily married. I raised 2 beautiful kids. You know, I've done a lot. I've traveled the world, so I'll be happy right now. Tell you the truth. Yeah.
So you just chill.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I've been getting with these questions. I always I don't want to change that question because I'm like,
that's a great question.
Because I'm like, I'm learning a lot about that question, right? One of my things would be like, I would love to spend time with my family, right? And do that and be with them. And then we're going to transfer like the last final hours of me on stage. And then we're just having a ball, laughing, joking, and then a countdown.
Absolutely.
And then boom, the mic drops and I'm like, just bitch dramatic thing, but I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm selling Rick's guitar, guys. I'm taking the guitar.
My wife was like, wait, you want to watch it? I'm like, no, we're going to have a great time, but there's a timer too, like 3, 2, 1. I just want to boom, like it just dropped.
Yeah, we just went from a party to a funeral.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I was supposed to pick up that mic and then keep the show going. Just lift me up on the chair and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, Rick's dead, guys. What we gonna do with this guitar? He said he's happy.
Yeah, he's happy. He can take it.
Absolutely, that is too funny.
But I love that question because, man, at the end of the day, it comes down to, I think it comes with maturity too, right?
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
People's like, you know, I would like to accomplish this, right? But then in the end, once that's done, I want to be with my family, just chill.
Absolutely. And it's funny because my son the other day, he's 15, and he asked me in the car the other day. He was like, "Dad, what's your definition of success?" And I said,
"You want me to be honest?" The questions come.
I said, "You want me to be honest with you? I feel I'm successful right now. I'm following my goal. I'm happy where I am in life right now. I have you guys. You guys are healthy. You know, we travel the world. We're able to do things that some people might not be able to do. I'm successful right now, you know?" And he was like, "Good answer, Dad." And I was like, it's funny because some people like success is cars and this and, dude, but if you're not happy, then what's success, right? Like, what is success? Success is somebody chasing their dream and doing it. That's success. That person is successful at the moment, you know?
That was a beautiful answer because there's a lot of things that I learned and was taught that as well and got to see with my own eyes from my spiritual teacher teaching me those things is being successful within yourself. You know what I'm saying? You are a success. You know, you doing what you got to do, making your dreams accomplished. It's not about the world. It's not about, the money. All that's going to come. It's about you fulfilling who and what you are and getting to know who and what you are and fulfilling your journey.
That's right.
So that was a beautiful answer that you told your son.
Yeah, my son.
Yeah. And, and I guarantee you that he looked at you as a success. He already knew
of course
that you was a success because you already are teaching him so many things. He's learning from you. You guys learn from each other. So it's like this beautiful relationship. And I think that was dope.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's funny because, kids always ask you these questions. And I was like, it's random. But I was like, wow, cool. Cool. And, answering that to him and giving them that vision or that perspective, it's like.
And you show him that.
Of course.
You show him like, I'm just not telling you that you can make your dreams happen.
Absolutely.
You could.
Absolutely.
Look at me as an example.
Absolutely.
And he is.
Absolutely.
They ain't dumb. Kids ain't dumb.
Absolutely.
They're like,
Absolutely.
they know when you're like, hey,
Absolutely.
you ain't put 2 hours in like in about a
Absolutely.
week in the Serato. You haven't been DJing. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So they know.
I feel, as a Latino, having a kid at 17, you're already a statistic. And other people, in some people's minds, oh, he's done.
Yep.
He's done. And I've surpassed people that didn't have a kid at 17 in life. And that was only because of passion and motivation. And, it's funny, because when you have a drive or you're working for something, for somebody else besides yourself, the drive is stronger,
So I love that we got into this naturally.
Yeah.
So you had this drive already when you was pretty much starting, right?
Of course.
And then the first kid came in, and you said there's another drive now.
Of course.
That you probably didn't know you had. That now you're doing this for yourself, but now also for your family.
Absolutely.
You know, and you caught that on early, right?
Early, yeah.
Like the moment, like around 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
The moment you found out you was gonna have a kid.
It's funny. The minute I found out my wife was pregnant, I spoke to her mother, like a gentleman.
Yeah.
We'll move out in a week. We moved out.
Damn.
I didn't know what I was gonna do, but
Yeah.
we figured it out. And then got our own apartment, stood there, so on and so forth. And,
That's what's up.
Damn,
awesome, man. I respect that.
That's the side people don't know me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
The next segment of the podcast is number 3, and it's called Words from My Spiritual Teacher, Guru Enlightenment. Guru Enlightenment is my spiritual teacher. You guys know from my Instagram. This lady has helped me with my life. And if you haven't caught on by now, you should have already been on her website, because I think we're on the 7th episode now. So she's a spiritual teacher. She teaches spirituality to be free and independent, to believe in yourself, and that you have a purpose. And this segment is to give people and to share some of her writings.
Absolutely.
And to give them a little taste, so then they can have the inspiration to go on and see what she's
Absolutely.
about. And everything is free.
I'm all about that. Yeah, I'm all about that.
What do you have to lose? Go check it out. So this writing comes from her book, Guide to Finding Answers Within the Unknown, and it's from chapter 1. So here we go. Do not let your anger get the best of you. Do not let hatred take you to the dark side. Allow thyself to be free like the wind, so that you may flow freely and go where it may take you, just like a breeze. Be happy with thyself and feel the peace that is longing to be felt. How do you feel about that after hearing that?
I mean, it's funny because this is right up my alley. I got Buddhas and bees. I got bees here. I'm all into meditation, to Buddhism. So this for me is it's funny because this is how I live my life now. I don't hold on to anger. If somebody makes me upset, cool. I'm gonna forgive you.
Right.
It is what it is. You have to live with that, not me. And easy terms of this is you holding on to anger, or you being upset with people, or holding on to, it's like drinking poison and expecting another person to die. And that's my way of living now. Peacefully with myself and trying to enlighten others and you understand, and be free and what's the word I'm trying to say? Be free and clear-minded with yourself. Because if you're not clear-minded with yourself, you can't be around others. You can't inspire others. If you don't know who you are yourself, mind, body, and soul, you can't inspire nobody else.
It's so funny because when I pick these things, I'm literally just looking through, feeling it out. But in a sense, and I see it, and me and my wife talked about it, it kind of wraps up the journey of the person, right?
Of course.
Now, when I hear this, of course, I can relate to my life, but I feel like with your life, you was angry at one time. You had probably a hate at the time, the tough time that you had,
Absolutely.
The 10 years or whatever that was happening in there, right?
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs, exactly. And the music always allowed you to be free, to feel calm, to go like the breeze, and gave you peace.
Absolutely.
And then once you went through your trials and tribulations, you started to feel what was
Absolutely.
always inside, and will
Absolutely.
continue to bring into your craft, into your life, because it's already inside.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
music is bringing it out, and you bringing it
Absolutely.
out. That's how I see this. I'm always like, yo, this is great. This goes with this person. This goes with that person. I always find that at the end.
And it's funny because when you were reading, I was like, oh, this is an easy question for me. Like, this is what I do every day. And it's funny because I told my friends, I don't need to know you as a person or speak to you to know who you really are. Because I'm a person who goes off of energy.
Right.
Energy is everything.
Of course.
You know, I'm around people and I'm like, wow, this person's energy is
Get away.
dark, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is this poison right now in my blood. I don't even know him, and this guy is drowning me right now with poison. And then vice versa. All my friends or family, they're like, yo, Will, when you around, the energy you give out, like, I want to be around you. You know, it's funny because energy is everything. You can't fake energy.
Yep. No, it's true.
You can bullshit me all you want. Yeah, but your energy, it's not gonna lie to me.
And even if they're so good at it to hide it, give it some time.
Absolutely.
It'll sleep right through. You'll be like, oh, I saw it.
Oh, I was right. Yeah, I was right.
Yep.
You just took 2 weeks to let me know.
Yeah, exactly. We just took longer. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys want to, of course, it'll always be in the description. You guys can check out her website. You can check out the Instagram. It's guruenlightenment.com. But that will always be in the description along with the guests and my podcast as well. Yo, Will, man, that pretty much wraps up the Win podcast. And
Amazing,
you get
man.
to, we're going to put it in the description, but where can people see your stuff, check you out? Just, you can say it all in there. And we're going to put it, of course.
Absolutely. Well, first I want to say thank you for having me, man. It was an honor. You know, this is my first time doing this. I was a little bit nervous at the beginning, but this is amazing. You know what I mean?
This is your first time doing a
I
podcast?
swear, it's the first time doing a podcast.
Damn, man. I would have, thank you.
Yeah. So this
man.
is a blessing.
Yeah.
It's definitely, you know, the energy was dope. You know, like the minute I came out, I was like, oh, this is gonna be. Me and Rick know each other for 20 years.
Yeah, that's how it felt. We were connected. It started with the hat, and then I was on the DJs and the mixes.
That's it. So yeah, you can find my material on Instagram and Twitter at I am DJ Moka. That's I am AM DJ and MOKA. That's for Twitter and Instagram, and also if you go to YouTube and type in DJ Moka, you see a lot of my parties on YouTube and like my remixes and stuff like that. So you can find my stuff everywhere. I mean, you type in my name anywhere, it pops up.
That's awesome. Well, that's all the work that you've been putting in.
A lot of damn work.
It comes up on its own.
Absolutely.
And of course, we're going to put that in the description, and you'll get to know how to reach them. Before I go, though, I just want to say, man, thank you again for coming to do this, taking the time to do
Definitely,
this.
man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Being
For real.
honest,
Definitely.
sharing so much. And I just want to say, man, like from what you shared, man, that I'm truly proud of you. And I'm genuine, you know.
Thank you.
I feel like I kind of like knew you, but today just like nailed it on the call from like we knew each other from a past lifetime.
It's funny, yeah.
But I just want to say that I'm proud of you, man, because you put in the work. And everything that's coming your way, you deserved it and you earned it. And I want you to keep on going, man. And shit, yo, if you're my DJ, like I'm gonna fucking hire you whenever I need a DJ. You heard it here.
I mean, thank you for reaching out to me, man. I mean, it was when I saw. I remember this was months ago. It's funny because I was telling my wife, I said, I almost forgot about this damn podcast. So they me, I was like, oh shit, next week. You know, but the minute you told me, I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah. You know, it's funny. I was like, yeah, let's do it because I didn't know you, but your energy, man, like, you know, your videos and you playing your guitar, I was like, yo, this guy is just, I could just, like I said, your energy just felt amazing to me. So thank you, man, for, you know, taking the time to say, yo, you know what, I want to interview you and put you in the podcast. So thank you, man, and many blessings to you and your career.
Once again, thank you everybody for checking out another episode of the Win Podcast. You can check us out on SoundCloud, YouTube, Instagram, at the Win Podcast. And any information you want to check out, just look at the description box and all the information is there. So thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed another episode. Peace.